Imagine waking up long before the sun even begins to rise. The room around you is cold, damp, and cloaked in darkness. The worn wooden floorboards creak beneath your feet with every small movement you make. Fat, quick rats slink through the cracks, gnawing on whatever they find, even the meager belongings you possess. The air is thick and suffocating, heavy with the dampness, sweat, mold, and the unbearable stench of human waste and urine accumulated over time. Every breath you take is a cruel reminder of the filthy, degrading world you inhabit. You are not imprisoned for any crime. You have not been sentenced to a dungeon. Yet your life is far from free. It belongs to a single purpose: to serve tirelessly, day after relentless day, without rest, without mercy, without hope. You are a serf, an invisible cog in the vast machinery that is the medieval castle. Your existence holds no value beyond performing the tasks the nobles consider too degrading for their delicate hands. Your day begins by cleaning the latrines, places rife with deadly diseases, and a smell so pungent it feels almost tangible. You carry heavy buckets of cold, filthy water, climbing and descending narrow, twisted stairways slick with dirt and years of wear. Washing clothes, scrubbing floors, and preparing food you will never taste are just some of the endless chores that define your ceaseless routine. The work is grueling and unending, and your life is dictated by the arbitrary and often cruel commands of the lord of the castle and his court. Your body suffers. Your fingers are cracked, cut, covered with calluses, and stained. Your skin is filthy, marked by bruises and sometimes scars from harsh punishments. The cold seeps into your bones. Exhaustion weighs down your muscles like a heavy stone, and fatigue is your only faithful companion. Still, there are no words of thanks, no recognition, only the obligation to keep working, as if you were a machine that must never stop. Mistakes are a luxury you cannot afford. A small stumble, a moment's delay, or a flaw in the tiniest detail can result in severe punishment. A slap across the face, a punch, or the lash of a rod that leaves burning marks on your flesh and tears at your soul. Punishment may extend beyond the physical. You might be forced to sleep hungry, your belly aching with hunger, the pain of starvation mixing with the ever-present fear of what tomorrow might bring. Some might say that, at least, you are not locked in a dark, damp cell, a cold stone dungeon. But the truth is, for many serfs, life was a worse prison, an invisible cage, a cell without bars, where freedom was but an empty word, an unreachable dream. The clock never stopped, marking every second of unceasing labor, every stifled breath, every drop of sweat shed in vain. The feudal system was cruel and rigid. The nobles held all power, while serfs were seen as inferior, almost less than human. Your voices were silenced, your needs ignored, your suffering invisible to those who lived in luxury within the castle walls. The hierarchy was clear and merciless, and any deviation could be fatal. Deep down, you knew you stood on the very bottom rung, disposable and vulnerable at any moment. Material life was precarious. Food was scarce, rationed, and of dubious quality. Often, you were forced to eat leftovers or cold scraps, while the nobles enjoyed lavish feasts. Disease was constant, and with poor hygiene, epidemics spread swiftly among the serfs. Cold and dampness were daily enemies, seeping into weary bodies and further weakening the health of those already living on the edge. The fear of falling ill, losing strength, dying before the next winter was real and ever-present. Yet, even in the darkness of this brutal existence, moments of resistance glimmered. Small acts of courage and solidarity arose among the serfs. A knowing glance, an extended hand, a silent gesture of support. Hope, fragile and always threatened, endured. Dreams of freedom, justice, and better days lived on in memory and heart, even if crushed beneath the invisible chains of the feudal system. To be a medieval serf was to live a hell on earth, a vicious cycle of exhausting work, cruel punishments, constant fear, and a daily struggle to survive. It was to be trapped without bars, imprisoned by your very social status, condemned to a life of suffering and invisibility. Today, as we learn this history, we can grasp the depth of that suffering. We remember that Even in the worst prisons, humanity seeks a light, a hope. And those serfs, though forgotten by the official histories and books, carried within themselves the silent strength that upheld an entire era.